Hello everyone. So can you guys hear me now? Hello. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let me just find out what is happening. Okay. So let us start our today's lecture. With the sorry for stammering right now. So this is my very first live class. So yeah, what are we going to learn today? We are going to learn about the HTML. So first of all, what is HTML? Why do we learn HTML? All those things we will see all those things. Okay. So what is HTML in the first place? So we have been doing a lot. We have been seeing a lot websites these days, right? A lot websites like we have been learning on Unacademy. We have been doing on YouTube. We have been watching like different websites to learn our things. So these are the websites as well as applications as well as I can say web apps. So whenever we have to create something for our browsers, like what are the different browsers we have, like Chrome, Firefox. I know my handwriting is little weird, but I'll be improving it. Don't worry about it. Someday I'll be, not someday, soon I'll be improving it. So, by practicing it, of course. So, browser. Whenever we are using anything inside a browser, so in that we always have a website. So to create a website, there are three basic languages which basically we have to learn. The three basic languages are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now you must be wondering JavaScript. So JavaScript is basically a main framework. REST. You might have heard about React. You might have about mean stack development. You might have heard about Node.js. So these are the libraries I can say about the JavaScript, but the basic stuff starts from the JavaScript. So let us see what is HTML, what is CSS, and what is JavaScript. So at the first place, HTML. I can, if I just talk about in the real life, so HTML is nothing but the skeleton of the website. So whenever you are writing an HTML page, you are creating the skeleton of the website. Then, if you are talking about CSS, I can say it's a makeup of the skeleton. Why makeup? See, basically right now you guys can see that I'm using different pens so as to look it should look good, right? So HTML is a skeleton and CSS make it look good. Nowadays I won't just say that CSS make it look good, but CSS is considered as a functionalities as well. And JavaScript, that is JS, is the functionality of your skeleton, that is website, like adding up buttons, adding your motions, adding your I can say adding different animations into your website. So these are the three basic elements of your website. Okay, now you must be wondering how to see these things. Okay, I just open up Chrome, and inside of Chrome, if you open any website, like I just open a Google, not Google. So you can see this is the Google Meet ka search. So right now, if I just right click and inspect element, so you guys can see these things as your HTML. Sorry for the background noise. And in the console and the sources, you will be able to see the different JavaScript as well. So you can see there are JavaScript files, fonts. So there are many different things you guys can. So these are the images stored. So you can see Google ka image. You can see the Gmail ka image. You can see search box ka image. So these are kind of the storage. You guys can basically this window is called as a developer tools, where basically we can see different type of developing stuff we use. Network is basically whenever you call someone. Sources, all the files you are using. Console is to test out something. For example, if you can see, I just write alert hello. So you can see the pop-up coming up on the screen saying hello. So this is basically to just check out things whenever you want to check it out. So that is the alert. And if you want to just check out what are the different elements I use in creating this, so you can check out this. So there are division inside division, and there is a H2, and there is another division, there is an H2. You guys can see all those things are highlighted when you are selecting the things. If you don't want in that way, you can even do this. I just right click, but right click on the things and inspect that element. So you will be able to take into that code of that part of the code. Okay. So this is your HTML and JavaScript code. You guys can see the JavaScript functions as well. But these functions are not readable enough because the Chrome will not allow you. Okay. So that is your HTML and JavaScript and CSS. Okay. So HTML is a skeleton of the website, CSS is a makeup of skeleton, and JS is a functions of the website. Like function, I said, adding a search button, adding a toggle button, adding the push pop button, adding the basically not just buttons but animations, form submissions. You might have seen sometimes कि तुम्हारा एक part move होता है दूसरे part. So that is your I'm just checking out how am I looking. So these are your HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let us go a little deep dive into the HTML. So what is HTML? Okay. So as a part of the introduction, I'm not going to take you to the like who invented HTML, why he invented HTML, but just a little bit brief about HTML. So what is HTML? HTML is the hypertext markup language. First of all, it is a language between you and a browser. If I just give you HTA like H1, H2, H3 and different tags of the HTML, so you will not be able to understand. That is why it is a language between me and the browser. That H1 comes to the browser converts it into the UI and you can see it. Hypertext. Basically it's not a normal text. It's a hypertext. Why hypertext? Because text can be linked. Text can be written in a superscript. Text can be written in a subscript. And text can be clicked to image, like converted to be image, like text को click करके you can move to the image. So that is why it is considered as a hypertext. What is markup? Markup is basically nothing but giving up the different properties to the text. We are going to see what are the different properties, but right now just consider like HTML is a hypertext markup language. Hypertext, text with links, text with your superscript, text a subscript, text with the text having different properties, text having animation. That is why hypertext language. It is a communication channel between me and the browser, you and the browser. That is a language. Markup, we are going to give it a different properties to it, so that is why we call it as the markup. So HTML hypertext markup language. Okay, I hope it is you guys are understanding things. So HTML hypertext. So what are the elements of the basically what are the elements of the HTML, like what all things are included in the HTML. HTML is nothing but the collection of tags. You must be wondering what is tag now, right? A tag of your t-shirt, a tag of your pants, a tag of your like a phone, whatever the tag is. No, that is not a tag. Tag so tag is the special character enclosed in the angular brackets. Like these are the special characters enclosed in the angular brackets. For example, HTML itself is the tag, head is the tag, body is the tag. So tags are the special characters. Now why special characters? Because if I just write this won't work, because it's these characters are not special for the HTML. For HTML there are few tags which basically just work in the HTML. Yeah, when I go for the React.js, this would work somewhere if I just create something with that. So special characters enclosed in the angular brackets. What are these called as? Angular brackets. Now how to put the angular brackets? There are buttons near to your M के बाजू में तेरा आपके पास दो buttons हैं, that is this one and this one. So you shift button along with this. So this is your angular brackets. Okay, I hope I am making sense. So let us see what is the basic structure of HTML. Don't worry, I am going to show you the HTML page, like create करके भी, don't worry. So the basic structure always says, I'm not going to tell you about the doc type right now. Doc type हम थोड़ा सा आगे लेंगे the moment you learn more about the tags. So basic tag, basic structure of the HTML is your HTML page should have whatever should be inside HTML tag. Whatever you put inside HTML tags, there are different type of tags as well. We are going to learn it in the next lecture. So HTML के अंदर जो भी लिखोगे that is considered as the web page. So HTML page के अंदर we have different sections, like just a body, just I sort of said about the HTML is a skeleton, right? So skeleton को क्या होता है? Head होता है and a body होती है, right? So there is a head section and there is a body section. Now, one important thing, that there is no compulsory that a single HTML would have a single head. A single HTML can have a multiple head as well. A single HTML can have a multiple head, but a single HTML would just have a single body. There should not be more than one body tagged and closed. Okay, so this is your HTML, basic HTML structure. I'm not going to go in a deep right now. हम थोड़ा तक slow जाते हैं. I'll get a review. I can say I'll take a review from you guys, like how do you guys find this out, and if you guys find it good, I'll be if not, then I have to improvise myself. Okay, so this is your HTML page now. Now I'm going to show you guys to create an HTML. I am using what I'm using is basically, so I am using VS Code to write a code. Why? One thing, this basically it gives me the autocorrect, auto completion. These are the functionalities I love of VS Code. So that is why I'm going to use VS Code as a writing application and a Chrome to see. I'm so sorry for the okay, so that is a Chrome and here is my VS Code. So I'm just going to save a file, saving lecture 1. I'm just going to create a new folder, saving YouTube. Don't worry, I'll share this folder to you guys and save it as the HTML if you have. HTML and save it like .html. So you can see this, right? So you can see the angular brackets over here itself. So it says that the angular brackets means that you would be getting a head. So now I'm opening this file in the HTML. So I save it in the inside the YouTube and lecture. So do you see any changes over here? No, right? It's a white screen itself, right? So I am just writing the HTML code. So you can see there is an automatic completion of the HTML, right? So HTML के inside I have a head and head के अंदर भी I have a body, not head के अंदर. I'm just saving it and so again nothing because I have not written anything inside the body. But if I just write h1 and hello HTML. So now you can see something, control R. So these are the two. First thing, HTML is a standalone, it does not need any kind of internet. Whenever you are writing an HTML code, you don't need the HTML. You don't need the internet. Without internet, you can write the HTML code. CSS, if you are using any CSS library, then of course you need. But whenever you are writing CSS, you don't need the CSS. You don't need again the internet. Same goes for the JavaScript. If you are not using any library of the JavaScript, you are free to use without internet. So that is the advantage. Like without the internet, you guys can practice your HTML, CSS and JavaScript. But the moment you start using like libraries of JavaScript, there are two different ways again. You can download the CSS file itself, CSS or JavaScript file itself, or use a CDN. We are going to see to it in a few lectures. Okay, so that was all about HTML. So we have seen what is HTML, where do we use HTML, how to use HTML, at least the basic structure. So what you guys can do it, you guys can create a basic structure of this HTML n number of times and just make changes to those n files. Okay, so that is your hello HTML. Don't worry, like this is your code wherein I just return inside a body h1. Now if I just write anything outside my HTML, what would it have? So what do you think it would be seen? Yes, it is seen, right? So how it is seen? So the latest HTML version helps you to do whatever inside the body. But now if I write this statement in the, okay, I haven't saved that file. I have. So if I just write this file in the head, I write the statement in the head. So if I just do this again, so it is again still the same. How and why? So this is the advantage of the latest versions of your HTML. But the moment I probably miss out anything, so the things would not be the same. If I just miss out my H1, still the same, right? So basically, what is the problem? Okay, if I just, instead of writing H1, I'm just writing the closed. So you can see the angular brackets came up as the bracket. So if I just write over here like kuch bhi naam, like kuch bhi naam. So will it work now? Something like that? Do you think it will work? Nothing. So these are ignored by the HTML, latest version of the HTML. Okay. I hope I made some sense while doing it. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll say it by using this. Thank you so much for watching. So bye bye, have a great time, take care and see you in the next lecture.